Coach, it's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but we've got football to perk up our spirits. That's the good news. At Paul Brown Stadium, that's where we're at here in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready! 60 outlaw? I don't think you got it, son. Take four. Gone. Get it.
Throwing on first down. Eason firing quickly here, and that's complete. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Ready?
2nd and 6. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Set, ready? 50, plank. So don't say nothing. Slam.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. Josh Jones in on the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Mike's 57's Mike. Rip right. 5.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long, an early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
57's Mike. Mike 57. Here it comes. 57's the Mike. Watch 57. Check. Deep rip.
Operating from the gun. Eason. And that will be incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Mayfield got his man complete over the middle. That's Gill. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, alert!
To throw, Mayfield. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
I will see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Mayfield. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. And again, it's Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The Browns send out their punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Set, 180.
I got you.
Following the interception, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Watch the pass.
5.
57's the mic. Watch 57. No chair.
Look at me. Go. 2.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got it to Ingram, complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it's a second down.
Number 26. 4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6 at the 30-yard line.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up second and 6.
7.
57's the mic. 57's the mic. You remember me?
Leo.
Let's go, baby. Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Hit it.
Looking to throw. Eason. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. 7 yards there and a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Mixon with a first down carry. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front, they moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
6 yards on that last play. Here's second and 4.
Charlie. Go.
53's the mic. 53. Check 53. This time.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Check. 53's mic. Check. 53's mic. Here we go, D. Here I come.
Let's go.
Second and 4. And his throw is incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, Eason. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
So we have to remember this offensive unit, they've been off for the last 2 weeks, had an open week, and so it might take them a little while to get back into rhythm. I know they worked hard to try and get past that in practice, but practice isn't game speed.
$35 yards that time on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. The result's not great thus far. A punt on the first drive and an interception last time out.
And let's face it, every team wants to come out on the field and play with some confidence, play some tempo, play with some rhythm. And when you're making those types of mistakes, you're not getting any of that put together.
So what do you say, time to get back to the basics for them?
In a lot of ways, yes, but the biggest one, of course, is finding people who will take care of the football and make a few plays. You've got to have a drive now that calms down the entire team.
Watch twist. Check safety. Deuce. Check three.
First down, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by Harold Landry, the former Boston College Eagle.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Mayfield down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. No score after 1 on EA Sports. home from the gun on 3rd down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Bengals drive about to get going. And given the elements, this might have been what we would have expected, Charles. Scoreless into the 2nd quarter.
The elements have definitely played a part in this game, a big part. And I think that both teams have been a little slow to adjust their playbook and start playing to whatever their strengths are in these conditions.
It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Ready? 70, Indy. Hey, Delta.
Mike 53. Army.
Mike 53. 53. Mike.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Check 26. Check 26.
Ready?
On 1st and 10, Eason got his man. It's Eifert. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Hey, Alpha.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57. You ain't going nowhere.
57's the Mike. 57's the Mike. Drop deep.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
That's what I'm talking about. Sacks all day, baby. Go ahead and take a seat. You can't stop me.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
Out.
Hey, seam 6.
Mike's 57.
Hey, lock it.
Get in the weight room. Kill.
Fire.
Operating from the gun. Eason into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. There he goes, right side. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns.
Partner, I know it's hard to believe, but sometimes guys who are built with the dimension of linebackers can actually get lost from sight by the quarterback.
Well, they're usually not the tallest guys.
So, yeah, that allows them sometimes to kind of hide down in there, kind of get a little bit lower, and maybe he just never saw him. But, boy, he sure wishes he had. He picked it off and ran it all the way back for a touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now, penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about. Yeah, this is going to put him back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Back to throw. Eason. And His throw here's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. That'll bring up second down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Eason. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Okay, partner. No surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A loss of 2. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd and 12, Mayfield looking for his running back, and he's got him. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Mayfield. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Check, 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 check.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
3rd and long for Mayfield. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. David Njoku, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
To number 85, David Njoku. Touchdown, Cleveland. The kicker on for the point after.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect. And this remains a 13-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
30-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hey, Zoo.
Let's get off the field, D.
57.
Hey.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense. Mike's 57. 57's Mike. Hey, defense.
To throw again. Eason. Rodgers brings it in. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On first down, Eason. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
57's the Mike. Watch 57.
Bravo.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57.
Throwing again. Eason. And his throw's going to be incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Hey, Sam off. Snap.
From the gun, Eason. And that will be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
From the 38, Mayfield. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Third and short yardage, Mayfield. And he's got his man on the out route. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well.
It's a gain of 6.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Mayfield to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Throwing, Mayfield. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carl Lawson picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. The Browns send out their punter now. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. An update from a game going on in Indianapolis. And the early going, it's the Texans out in front. I would definitely imagine we'll hear more from that game as we go along. The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups.
Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield.
They need a stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Whoosh. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, Eason. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57.
Go, go, go.
Look at me. Zipper.
50 seconds to Mike. I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
57. Mike, 57.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant.
From the gun, Eason. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Fielded at the 20. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
At the 41-yard line.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and just like that, it's 3rd down. Mayfield looks to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one good for 24 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. On 2nd and 12, Mayfield. Open man is Higgins. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 17-yard line.
Partner sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, it's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. Well, let's see who's faster.
Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
2nd and 12. At the Bengals.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Hey, 133. Twist on travel.
From the gun, Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. So up comes Mayfield as his guys will go for 2.
Run.
198. Watch 98.
Go.
Let's go, defense.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a two-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense, right?
That's true. You've said that before. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. A check of the scoreboard there in the 3rd and Baltimore. And the Ravens have opened things up there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Looking to throw. Eason. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Myles Garrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Operating from the gun. Eason. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. It's fielded at the 45. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. A check of the scoreboard there in the 3rd and Baltimore. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Mayfield on 1st down. Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. And I think the ball's out. And this one's going to go out of bounds. So no recovery, but on 4th down, a change of possession anyway. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Set, 20. Kings.
We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get nervous.
Alert.
Crunch.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mayfield. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Mayfield now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. This pass complete to Higgins. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The Browns on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. Now Mayfield. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Set, 180!
I smell fear in that offense.
Hey, alert, 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 alert!
Show it up, show it up. Watch the safety creep. Patch it.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
Pistol.
Wide, get wide.
To throw, Mayfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter.
It's just me and you.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Again, it's Mixon. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
General West.
Here's Ingram. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Ingram again. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
51. I got you, punk. Tight end right.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Call it a gain of 5, 4th down now. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
You better be afraid of me.
Protein spill.
Be afraid of me. Check 15. Check 15.
Get it.
They'll run with Mixon. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Just enough push up front. He only needed about 6 inches. He didn't get a whole lot more than that.
No, but he made sure he got enough so they didn't have to worry about measuring it or making it even close. Ends up picking up a couple of yards in a situation, as you noted, where he only needed inches.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it